Every time I've done response videos, I've usually always responded to YouTube videos. But there is a lot of misinformation in the form of articles as well, so I figured it's about time I started giving them some attention too. Anyway, today I will be taking a look at the most dangerous centipedes. I haven't really made any centipede-focused videos on my channel in a while. Sorry, I've been a little bit too obsessed with huntsmen lately, but trust me, centipedes are still my favourites. I haven't moved on from my roots, but huntsmen admittedly are a lot easier to get good footage of. But it's back to centipede time, so today I'm just going to be reading through this article and seeing what I can pick out. I've given it a quick skim and it seems pretty crap, so let's take a look. So the most dangerous the website is Guy How To, and this website seems like basically just a written version of those top 10 channels I often react to. Most dangerous drugs, dangerous birds, the dangerous jellyfish, while showing photos of Chrysaora fusescens, which isn't really dangerous at all. You know the drill. So, let's have a look. Do you know? The word centi in Latin means 400. In actual, centipedes do not have 100 legs. Okay, the information here is correct, but yeah, the grammar. At the risk of sounding a bit like a grammar Nazi here, poor grammar and spelling is often a telltale indicator of an unreliable source, because quite simply, anyone who is remotely concerned about the quality of what they're putting up on the internet would pay attention to what they're writing, so they wouldn't be making such basic grammatical errors as this. The longest centipede, named Scolopendra gigantea from Venezuela, was 10 inches. Okay. Scolopendra gigantea and a fair few other centipedes can get considerably above 10 inches. 10 inches is 25 centimeters. Scolopendra gigantea can easily grow in excess of 30 centimeters. I think the biggest one recorded is about 36 centimeters. Centipedes are carnivorous hunters, feed on small insects, mollusks, and invertebrates. Why are insects and mollusks separate to invertebrates? They are invertebrates. Centipedes have a bad reputation as poisonous organisms, although they have venomous fangs, but they are not deadly enough to kill humans. Okay, the issue here is that a centipede's venom-injecting apparatus are not fangs. Fangs are mouthparts. A centipede's forcipules are modified legs. They're not even part of the head, let alone the mouth. Hey, I don't see a problem with that. The average lifespan of a centipede is about... I guess a lot of the smaller centipede species would lower the average a bit, but many of the giants can be pretty long-lived, like at least a decade. Dangerous centipedes. Centipedes are mostly carnivorous. Much like insects and spiders, they belong to the arthropod phylum. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here it says that they belong to the Chilopoda genus of arthropod. Chilopoda is not a genus. It is a, as far as I remember, I think it's a class, which is several ranks above a genus. The centipede has actually been known to trigger deaths, however these results are rather rare. No, very rare. Centipede bites, look, they hurt a lot. You do not want to get bitten by centipedes. But fatalities are, like, extremely rare to the point of being almost unheard of. Here are a few dangerous centipedes to be aware of. Giant Scolopendridae. Looks like a lot of hazardous animals are always from Australia. What about Australia? Okay, Scolopendridae are an entire family of centipedes, which I think all of the giant centipedes belong to. And they have a pretty much worldwide distribution. Like, they are common in the tropical regions and to a lesser extent subtropical regions all over the world. They are by no means exclusive to Australia. And also, hazardous animals are always from Australia. Look, what I'm about to tell you, some of you may not be prepared to hear, but there are dangerous animals all over the world Australia does not have some sort of ownership of things that can kill you. Treat wildlife with caution anywhere, and quite frankly, I would much rather go for a walk in the bushland in Australia than I would in anywhere in North America, South America, Asia, or Africa. Snakes and spiders, whatever, they're nothing. They'll just get out of your way. Bears, moose, big cats, nah, they scare the crap out of me. These big centipedes can grow up to 30 centimeters. Well, they've contradicted themselves here because they said that the largest is 10 inches, just a couple paragraphs up. And not only that, but while there are centipedes that get that big, none of them are in Australia. The bites from giant Scolopendridae can trigger extreme discomfort which lasts for days. You can tell by their big, dark, flat body. Dark? Yeah, this is another case of self-contradiction. They describe them as having dark bodies, but show a light-bodied centipede. And by the way, this is Scolopendra cingulata. It is a Mediterranean species that does not occur in Australia. And Scolopendridae, quite frankly, come in a huge variety of colours. You can't generalise their appearance like that. This one looks really frightening. I am not scared of any centipede. Actually, that's a lie. Azog used to scare the crap out of me. 2. Scolopendra what? Scolopendra cingulata is a member of the Scolopendridae, so why is it included as a separate entry? And as a side note, Scolopendra cingulata is fairly small, quite docile, and has a really mild venom, so it should not be on a list of the most dangerous centipedes. Honestly, if you are going to make a most dangerous centipedes list, they should pretty much all be from Asia. So, where were we? Scolopendra is the Megarian banded centipede and the Mediterranean banded centipede is a species of centipede. No shit. And blah blah blah. It will attack and consume almost any animal that is not larger than itself. Its venom is likewise not as toxic as that. Okay, look. There's nothing here that's really factually wrong. It's just extremely basic and kind of poorly written. Moving on. Amazonian giant centipede Scolopendra Why isn't that... That is Scolopendra subspinipes. Apart from just, you know, the basic centipede traits, Scolopendra subspinipes looks nothing like Scolopendra gigantea. And just like with Scolopendra cingulata, it is a member of the Scolopendridae, so I don't know why it's a separate entry. So, Scolopendra gigantea, also referred to as the Peruvian huge yellow-legged centipede or Amazonian giant centipede, is among the biggest... Okay, it's not that bad. They can get well over 30 centimeters, but I mean, they did say approximately, okay. It is a carnivore that feeds upon any animal it can subdue and eliminate. Wow, ominous. Doesn't that apply to basically all carnivores though, except for specialists? It is capable of overpowering not only other invertebrates, such as big insects, spiders, millipedes... Yeah, centipedes generally don't prey on millipedes, because millipedes are poisonous, as in toxic to eat, and have a pretty tough exoskeleton too. That being said, there is a very weird looking centipede called Edentostoma octosulcatum that specialises in feeding on millipedes, but they're not normally a prey item for centipedes. And even tarantulas, however, also small vertebrates, including blah 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 blah. Okay, nothing too terrible apart from the image of a completely different species. Scolopendra cataracta. This type of centipede can swim and store undersea. No, these centipedes, they may inhabit freshwater environments. They are definitely not in the ocean. Oh, I forgot to mention, but when you're writing scientific names, the species name, so cataracta here, should not be capitalized. Only the genus name is capitalized. And it should be written in italics as well. Scolopendra cataracta can grow up to 20 centimeters long, and these centipedes are venomous and meat-eating. Yes, that applies to all of them. You don't need to keep saying it. You can identify this centipede species by their big size together with long legs and dark greenish black... Yeah, look. There are a lot of big centipedes with those body proportions that have similar coloration. In fact, coloration in general is a pretty unreliable way to identify centipedes because there can be a lot of color variation even within a single species. Like here in Australia, Scolopendra morsitans and Ethmostigmus rubripes both have, like, I'd say well over 100 colour variants each. These crawlies are pretty quickly chinglish, and they might surprise you with a fatal bite. If you're dead, you're not going to be surprised, but look, centipede bites are not generally deadly. They even said that themselves in the article. It's like they can't make up their damn mind what to write. Scolopendra galapagoensis. Considering this list is supposedly about the most dangerous centipedes, this is definitely not a species I'd include, though they are, as you can see, bloody huge. Scolopendra galapagoensis, aka Darwin's Goliath centipede, is one of the largest centipedes on Earth. These threaten centipedes, given that they have large, dangerous mandibles that kill. These... What? Does that even make sense? I don't know. And mandibles, no. It's not the mandibles that kill. A centipede's mandibles are actually quite small and weak. Like I said before, it's the forcipules, which are modified legs, not mandibles, that do most of the dirty work. These centipedes are different in colours. Yes, that applies to a lot of scolopendrid centipedes. However, they are all unsafe and venomous to humans. Yeah, all centipedes are venomous, you don't need to say it for every single species. Oh, here we go. If there's any references to bloody Coyote Peterson here. Scolopendra hirus, also known as the giant desert centipede, huge Sonoran centipede. Texas, blah 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 blah. This is why I don't like common names. The same species can have so many different common names that it's often just a lot more simple to just remember the scientific name. It can reach into the air to grab small flying insects, yes, just like any other big centipede. The centipede utilizes its venom to subdue prey, yes, just like any other centipede. For people, a bite from Scolopendra hirus causes sharp, searing local discomfort. Unless you're Coyote Peterson, in which case it makes you act like Luke Skywalker being tortured by Palpatine. As for necrosis, I'm generally a bit skeptical about that simply because necrotic effects can occur as a result of secondary infection, so it may not be a direct effect of the bite, though I'm happy to be proven wrong. Could my phone just shut up? Alright. Scolopendra morsitans. Okay, that is not Scolopendra morsitans, that is Scolopendra polymorpha. The bad feature of Scolopendra morsitans is that there are more other related species. So the bad thing about Scolopendra morsitans is that there are other species that aren't Scolopendra morsitans. I'm not quite sure I'm following you there, champ. All of these centipedes have other related species. Heck, every living thing is related to some extent, so I don't know why they'd bring this up solely for Scolopendra morsitans. Each of them is gifted with painful bites that can cause severe pain to both human beings and animals. Such species pass numerous colours, however, yeah, Scolopendra morsitans in terms of coloration is one of the most variable centipedes in the world. However, one common similarity is their red head. Okay, yes, it is true that a lot of colour forms of Scolopendra morsitans do have a red head, but there's a fair few that don't as well. The larger they get, the bigger their prey is. What did you know? Bigger animals can eat bigger prey. Unless you're a whale. Scolopendra... Just when I thought that the misidentifications couldn't get any worse. This is an undescribed Scolopendra species from Peru in South America. It's nicknamed whitelegs for reasons that go without explaining, and it's up there with Scolopendra gigantea as the biggest centipede in the world. And it really looks nothing like Scolopendra subspinipes. If I scroll back up to the entry for Scolopendra gigantea, this is Scolopendra subspinipes. Very different looking centipede. Anyway, Scolopendra subspinipes is a species of huge centipede found throughout Eastern Asia. one of the most prevalent and typical species in the genus Scolopendra. What do you mean typical? What? I don't know. What's so typical about Scolopendra subspinipes? Asia, to the islands of Malaysia and Indonesia, Australia? What? I do believe that Scolopendra subspinipes is present on Christmas Island, which I think is Australian territory, but they definitely don't occur on the mainland. It preys mostly on arachnids, including spiders, scorpions, and vinegaroons. Vinegaroon is spelt with one R. However, if it is large enough to overpower small vertebrates like mice or small reptiles... What? If there's... okay. This does not read very well at all. Scolopendra subspinipes has actually been reported as the obvious cause of human death. The deadly case remained in the Philippines. What do you mean remained? Is that it? Oh boy. This is basically just a list of, hey, here's some random big centipedes we found out about. Scolopendra subspinipes and maybe Scolopendra gigantea are the only species that I think actually belong on a list of most dangerous centipedes, and even then, Scolopendra gigantea isn't a species that's really commonly encountered by people, so I don't know. I think things like Scolopendra dehani should definitely be on that list, but like Scolopendra cingulata or whatever, no way at all. So kids, if you're still in school and your teacher is nagging you about proofreading, this is why you listen to them. Otherwise, you end up writing some bullshit like this, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So, there we have it, I guess. That is my first article reaction. It's a different format to videos and equally frustrating to read, but you know, it's about time I paid attention to this sort of thing as well, because there is a lot of misinformation in the form of written text as well as just YouTube videos. So if you enjoy my content, then feel free to subscribe and check out some of my other uploads. Let me know what you thought in the comment section as well. Thank you all very much for watching. That is it from me, and I shall see you again very soon.